Dozens of historically black colleges and university leaders are urging the Senate to pass President Biden's $1.7 trillion social spending plan. Presidents at more than 60 of the nation's historically black colleges and institutions are calling for support for Senate leaders Chuck Charles Schumer and Mitch McConnell. Earlier this week, they wrote a letter addressed to both senators, voicing their full-fledged support for the president's Build Back Better agenda. The nearly $2 trillion spending bill has passed in the House and is now awaiting Senate approval. If passed, it would provide billions of dollars in federal funding to historically underfunded universities. In the letter, the leaders write, "For more than a century, America's HBCUs have provided educational excellence and access for some of our most vulnerable populations. While constituting only 3% of all colleges and universities, we still graduate nearly 20% of all African American students and contribute nearly $16 billion to the GDP each year. Yet we have traditionally received less than 1% of federal funding for higher education." Virginia State University President Makola Abdullah joins us now for more on this. President Abdullah, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So more than half of the nation's HBCUs have signed this letter. Why are we seeing this outpouring of support for the president's Build Back Better agenda?
I think there's two reasons. One, we fully understand and appreciate the commitment that Joe Biden and that the Senate and the House can have towards our HBCUs. And second, I think we're energized to begin to work more closely together. Given the leadership of Dr. Tony Allen, who's the president of Delaware State and also the head of the Presidential Advisory Board on HBCUs, I think it brings us together to start to look at things as one body.
And so what does this bill offer historically black universities, Hispanic serving institutions, and other minority serving institutions if it does pass through the Senate?
In this bill, there are over $10 billion to make sure they support HBCUs, MSIs, and HSIs. $6 billion in Title III and Title V funding, but then $3 billion for competitive research funds and $1 billion in funds that can be used for construction and facilities. And so we're really excited to see what can happen as these funds become invested in our HBCUs and in our MSIs and HSIs.
And as we mentioned at the top, HBCUs receive less than 1% of federal funding for higher education each year. That's pretty shocking. Why has it taken so long to address this trend of financial inequality in our nation's historically black universities and other minority and Hispanic serving institutions?
I'll tell you, one of the exciting things is our HBCUs have been the first chance for our country to look at diversity and inclusion. And as you showed in your graphic, that we've continually produced year over year, while only receiving 1% of federal funding, graduating over 20% of African Americans. And while it's taken a while for the federal government to really understand and to appreciate this, we know that with continued investment, with more investment, we can produce even more results, and we can help to change the makeup of our country.
Many HBCUs and other minority-serving institutions do see this bill as a historic step forward in our country's history. In the joint letter, it is called, quote, "a significant down payment on investment in an American future full of talented citizens who are not inhibited by where they come from or what they look like. You have the opportunity to help secure that future." So, given the amount of money HBCUs make each year, coupled with years of being underfunded by the federal government, is this even enough? What more would you like to see?
As a president of Virginia State University and a proud HBCU president, I think it would be bad for me to say that it's ever enough, right? We know that there are young people in this country who need and deserve access to quality higher education, and some can't attend because they can't afford it. Anything that we can do to help support young people going to college and to help support the institutions that support the young people who are going to college, we have to continue to do. In order for America to remain number one in the world in terms of education and in building our economy and in technology, we have to invest in the institutions that are investing in the young people to meet those goals.
And as we mentioned at the top, more than half of the nation's HBCUs signed this letter to the senators. Have you ever seen that sort of collective action by these colleges and universities on another issue?
I tell you, this is really a tribute to Dr. Tony Allen, again, president of Delaware State, bringing us all together. I tell you, if he had more time, he probably would have had 100 people sign that, 100 presidents sign the letter. But we're just so pleased with his leadership, making sure that we continue to move forward and support our HBCUs.
All right. Well, President Makola Abdullah, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.